I need to hurry up. I gotta go to work. What's good, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, All Things Neese, with your girl, Janice. Hello, City Escola. I've watched too many movies. For today's video, this is gonna be part 4. In my Makeup Be 101 series. In today's video, we're going with the powders. The powders, you know, the ones that save you from everything and all things that are possible. The ones that can be your friend, but also befriend you when the flash comes on. So, let's get into it. Powders are used to set your makeup in place. You know, to make sure that your don't move. It's not going nowhere. That's basically what it's for. You know, to give you a flawless finish, to melt everything together like a nice crock pot. Yes, like a nice crock pot. That is what your powder is for. They fill your pores, you know, make sure your pores are small so that when you do take your pictures, your pores won't be showing out like, what's up, B? Hey, I want to see the flash. Let me see the camera. Your powder can help everything last longer. You can use it to set your eyeshadows. You can also use it to brighten different areas. It can also be used to tone down different areas. You know, if you put too much blush on or too much highlighter on. It's a great mattifier for greasy skin, and for my girls who have long hair, don't care. It can also be used for a dry shampoo. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that. Bet you didn't know. Did you know? Did you know? Didn't you know? Didn't you know? Shout out to the soul sister Erica Badu. Now, when it comes down to your tools, when it comes down to powders, you can honestly kind of use whatever you want. You can use the puffs. You can use a brush. You can use, that's all you got, puff and brush. But when it comes down to, you have the facial puffs, if you don't know what that is. You can use these as to, you know, press that powder in and to make sure that when it comes down to your skin, you get into those creases and those areas that are really important to you. Those places that you don't want to be super bright and you want to mattify, you use that to just get into those creases. When it comes down to your brushes, you can get a fluffy brush. You can find something that has a dense bristle brush, or you can get a kabuki brush, and that can just, you know, give you like the overall like suite of the powder that you need. So for instance, you have like the Sephora Micro Smooth powder that I have. I use that for overall finish. However, when I'm getting to concentrated areas where I know that I get oily, I use my Laura Mercier because I know that that will hold it down. She will hold everything in place, y'all. Laura, that's my girl. You know, you got the Fenty powders. If you want to make sure you have that flawless finish and you don't want any creasing, you know, no flashback, Fenty powders are good as well. Like, you have so many different options, and with those tools that you have, you can just decide on what you want to do with it. You know, some people apply their powder with a dry beauty blender. Some people use a moist beauty blender. Some people, you know, use a brush when they want to sweep it across their face. So it just depends on what you like. Makeup is literally something, it's like a trial and error. If it works for you, then it works for you. If it doesn't, then it's not for you. So you just continue to try the different tools to make sure that you have the best application that you like. For the news of the day, different types of powders. Wow. Oh, yeah. I bet y'all didn't know I can do that. Janice could dance on the low, bro. On the low, I really can. Now for the different type of powders that you have pressed powders, you have loose powders, you have setting powders, you have HD powders, and you have finishing powders. Those are all the different types of powders that you could possibly use. Now, to go into more detail when it comes down to these powders. When it comes down to loose powders usually come in jars, and they have smaller particles so that they can really get deep into your pores. They usually have a finer consistency and they are usually more lightweight. Now also when it comes down to some of these powders, they can be really hard to transport because they are so fine and they are messy. So just be careful when you're trying to transport loose powders when you're traveling. Now you have pressed powders. Pressed powders are usually more compact. They usually contain more ingredients that turns the product on your face to semi-solid so they won't budge or move. That would entail sometimes having silicone or wax in that type of powder. Now, if your skin does not like silicone or wax-based products, do not use those type of pressed products. Do not use those type of pressed powders. Usually some people who use pressed powders overput, I should say. You know, sometimes people don't understand that you don't have to use pressed powders for everything, and when you put too much on your face, it can look very cakey. Usually pressed powders are used to just, you know, touch up throughout the day to make sure that nothing is budging, nothing is going anywhere, and that your makeup is staying in place. Now, my favorite, setting powders. Setting powders are usually to just set your makeup. These powders usually go on after your foundation, and they also get rid of the shine that you have. These powders are usually to set, hitting setting powders, so set your foundation or any other things that you have in your face in place. These can also be used as tinted, or they can be translucent powders. So, you know, sometimes you want to get a powder that's more your shade, and some people like translucent powders. For people with lighter skin tones, they can use a translucent powder. Even black people can use a translucent powder. So it just depends on what type of powder you get. And you have to be aware that some powders do give you flashback. Hence, flashback is like when you take a picture, you can see the powder residue on your face. So if I was in a dark room, I would have whatever powder that I have on my face, and if I took a picture and you see the residue from that powder, then that means that that powder has major flashback. Another way to look at the flashback is basically like, think about dipping your face in baby powder after you put on your makeup and like patting it in, and then when you took that picture, you still have that baby powder residue. That's what flashback looks like. Another type of powder is the finishing powder. For finishing powders, you usually use those to blur the lines that are on your face. Now, last but not least, HD powders. You usually use these type of powders for like movie sets or, you know, on TV shows to make sure you don't get that cakey look from those high definition cameras. You can use this type of powder if you're doing photography because it's more dynamic and it's more defined. Now when it comes down to applying those powders, you usually just get the powder and you can swirl it around your face. I, for one, when I'm setting my face, I like to push it into the fine lines that I have. And then for my facial, you know, my normal, my loose pressed powders, I would say this is a pressed powder, so this is the one I use from Sephora. But I usually just use that and I swirl it around my face. I don't try to cake that one on. But for my Laura Mercier powder, I usually use that to bake. And you know, some people even like to bake their concealer in, which is why you use that setting powder to set it in place. You see a lot of people after they put on their concealer, they'll get that powder and they'll bake under their eyes and they'll, you know, sculpt out their face so that when they dust away that powder, you still have that more nice non-touch sculpted look. If you do over powder yourself, you can also use a facial mist or setting spray to bake that in and to get rid of so much powder that you have on your face. It usually just like melts into the skin and gives you a nice finish. And you guys, oh my gosh, that's it. That's all I have for you. That's all I got today of part 4 of this video. Oh my god. Dang, that's it?
Yeah, girl. That's it. That's all I got for you.
Like I said, when you're using setting powders, after you put on your concealer, you use setting powders to usually set your under eye in place, set or sculpt your face if you would like to. And also if you want to give you a final finish of your face, if you put on too much highlighter, you put on too much blush, you can also use your finishing powder to just, you know, swipe away or cover up those areas to make sure that you can dull down that product that you put on your face. But thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel. Oh my gosh, thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for everything. And if you have any other tools, and like I said, in this beauty community, I would love for anybody to give their feedback. If there's any misinformation if I put out, Or if you have any other tips and tricks that you would like to teach other people who are novice MUAs, just put it in the comments below. Let's talk, let's have a conversation. Also, don't forget to like and comment, subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe to your girl right here. All Things Neese 2K19. We in this thing. And also, don't forget to turn your notifications on so you can know what my next video is gonna be. And to give you a snippet. That's all I'm gonna give you. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna do. That's it. But watch the next video and you will know what I'm talking about. So I'm so silly. You guys, like I said, have a great week, have a great month, have a great year. Don't lose your fire. And you know, just have a blessed day. You guys, just come back to my channel. Like I said, talk to me, let me know. You can also hit me up on my social. I'm interactive AF. So yeah, just hit me up. Alright you guys, have a great week. Deuces. Peace and good ease. Bye you guys.